So this has come through in a couple of the circles that we host, which I'll attach information about that below. But so I was seeing a guitar string. So we had an interesting incident here one night, which I won't exactly get into, but this was when it very first came up. And so I was seeing this string, like a guitar string, of fear that was being played. And so I was noticing the vibrational resonance of that string that was being played. And so realized upon this, right, we're basically like a giant guitar. And so whatever strings, whatever vibrations we're playing, meaning whatever thoughts that we have, and here's the thing about the thoughts, is that they usually lead to words, that they usually lead to actions, but even if they didn't, those thoughts still carry a vibrational resonance within them. So if you are playing a chord of fear, meaning you're having thoughts of fear, then you are actually playing this vibration, and this vibration does not stay within the body. It does not. Science can prove this here. What actually happens is you are emitting this vibration from your body. So it would be like you're a guitar and you're playing the chord of fear. We don't want to do that. Why don't we want to do that? Because when we do that, we are sending out vibrations that then plant and then come for harvest at some point in the future. So not only are you experiencing them in the moment that you're experiencing them, but you are also saving it up to harvest it again in the future. So this is why people have repeated patterns in their life, and they say, oh, these same things keep happening to me over and over. Well, let's say that you know somebody and they've had a certain incident play out over and over and over again in their life. It is because of this. It is because of the chords, the vibrations that they are playing. And because they're playing them, they're planting them, and so then they keep harvesting them over and over and over again. So even just becoming aware that you are playing certain vibrations, certain frequencies, can allow you to interrupt that pattern, right? Because why? Let's say guitar string's going. Well, what do you want to do? Well, you just need to grab onto it, hold onto that string, and don't let it play the chord again. So what does this mean? It means when you catch yourself having that thought, don't allow it anymore. So also, in one of our circles, we had that, I think his name's Ophanum, I'm not sure, this angel come through, the angel with all the eyes, which, in the past I was like, that is kind of creepy and weird, and I'm like, I don't know that that's actually an angel. So of course, to prove me wrong, it shows up in one of our circles, and I'm like, dude, the angel with all the eyes is here. So I'm like, I need to understand this deeper, like, what are you? And why do you got all these eyes? And so it was saying, I'm actually the angel of perspective. Which eye do you need to look through so that you can get into divine alignment? And let me explain that. If you are looking through an eye, if you are having a perspective about something, if you are thinking a thought about something and it does not feel like freedom, then you are not looking through the right eye. It is not the divine truth, because you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. So this angel allows you to gain different perspective, which for the last 10 years as a hypnotherapist, I would work with clients, and essentially that's all that I was doing with them, was helping them to gain perspective around things. And by changing the perspective, like truly changing it on a soul level, it sets people free, because they're then in alignment with the truth. So what's happening in our life is we're basically a guitar. We're a giant guitar, and we're playing all these strings and all these chords all day long. So what percent of those chords, what percent of those vibrations that you are sending out are loving? What percent? You can ask yourself. You know all the answers to you, and only you know all the answers to you. So if you were to really tune into yourself and you were to ask, okay, what percent of the chords that I am playing are loving? What percent do you get? Okay, so what this means is that the percent that is not that is vibrations that you are playing that are less than ideal and that are actually harmful to you, and that you are playing now, and you will reap the harvest of them at some point also later. So then ask yourself, what am I playing that I don't want to keep playing? And when you become aware of this, which you can recognize by noticing the patterns in your life, by seeing the things that present to you, why has this come up again? What is this here to show me? Let me give you an example. So I was seeing this man. And because of the previous relationship that I had had, so going back, first of all, when I was with the previous relationship, my husband, I was very trusting. Had all kinds of trust, didn't think, nothing was going down, and then at some point was shown like, that's not the case. So then, I go forward, and then I'm, dating this other man, and so then I am playing all these chords of distrust, meaning he would say something, whereas in the past I would have been like, whatever, man, believe it. So he would say these things, and I then now am like, oh, I can't trust this. Oh, I can't trust this. And so then I am looking through an eye that is not the divine truth, that is not helpful to me, and I am playing chords of mistrust, distrust, not trusting. And because I'm playing these chords of I can't trust this person, what is then presented to me but the opportunity not to trust that person? It was a choice, but it certainly doesn't feel like it, and I know that you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you feel a certain way or you think certain things and you're like, this is out of my control. It's totally in your control, but it really doesn't feel that way. These thoughts will come in, and it's because those chords are still in your energy field. You are still playing them. They are still there, and they are not helpful to you. And because you are playing them, imagine yourself as a guitar, right? You could, if you're playing a guitar, this is not an internal guitar, right? If somebody walks in the room, well, they're exposed to the music. Probably if you're playing the guitar, they can hear it in the whole house. They might even be able to hear it outside, right? It carries. And so whatever it is that we have going on within us will externalize in our outside world and will become visible to us, because our world is made of the same energy as our consciousness. What is happening is your senses are continuously reporting back to you what it believes is there. This is why if you believe certain things, things will present to you in a certain way, and you will believe it to be the truth, but it is not actually the truth. It is your truth. If you think about yourself in a certain way, let's say that you think you're not lovable, you will have all kinds of proof that comes to you to prove that. It's not the truth, but it will be proof that your mind creates and makes up and believes is the truth, and you will take it in as the truth, and it will be the truth to you. And you will say, well, no, look at this situation, like this is proving it to me. Why? Because you've been playing that chord, you've been sending it out there, you've been existing with it in the now, which is then planting it and is going to come for harvest at some point in the future. And you will say, well, no, see, like here's the example of course it's true. And the thing is, my dear darling, it's not the truth, but it is because you have planted the seed and it has come ripe for harvest. And so it looks like the truth. It looks like it's true, but it is because you planted the seed. So it is not the divine truth. It is not the ultimate truth. It is not the highest truth. It has become the truth to you because this is how the laws of the universe work. This is what brings order into chaos. That you reap as you sow. That you cannot go around doing all kinds of things to other people and doing all kinds of things to yourself and not harvesting from what you've sown. It brings order into chaos. But the best part is that you have a choice. Once you realize, oh man, I must have been playing this chord. I must have been playing it my whole life. I've been playing it for a long time. As soon as you realize that, well, you can just take the string out. You don't got to keep playing that same chord anymore. You don't even need to keep the string. You don't even need to keep it. Let's say that you have a chord of anger within you. Well, what happens? You keep playing that chord, you keep playing that chord. It's incredibly uncomfortable. You do not like it. And you're saying, oh, I don't even like being angry. But because you're putting out the angry energy, you're planting more of it. And so then you just keep getting more things to be angry about. Then more and more and more and more. And it goes on and it never ends. Because you continually plant the seed. Rather than having something show up that would normally make you angry and not allowing it, being the bigger person, having mental clarity and mental strength to say, no, I know exactly what's happening here, and I'm not going to repeat that pattern, and cutting it, stopping it, ending it in your mind. And you might say, well, but I got all these reasons to be angry. Well, if you could understand that those reasons have come from you in the first place, and you might be angry here and that, you might think, well, no, it's because this person did this to me. Yes, my darling, they did. But if you could understand how deeply it works, that there is karma that comes from other lifetimes, you do not know what you have done in the past. And when something presents in this life, it comes up so that it can be healed, so that you don't have to take it on to the next life. And what is the hard work to be done? How difficult is it to forgive somebody who has harmed you? It's pretty difficult work, isn't it? So how much stronger would you become if you never received an apology? If someone was truly never sorry for what they did, but yet you could forgive them anyways, and you could want goodness for them anyways, how strong of a person would you become? Very strong. You might say, well, that's weakness. That is not weakness. Why? Because it's the hard thing to do. So it makes you stronger. Being angry is easy. That's the weak thing to do. It's easy. Anybody could be angry. But to not get angry, that takes actual strength, which is why it makes you stronger to not react in anger. We're getting sidetracked here, but when you are playing a vibrational chord, it does not matter what the chord is. It could be a chord of beautiful love, and I hope that it is, because if you were playing a chord of love and if you were playing a chord of peace and heaven on earth, what's going to happen for you? You are planting those seeds, and you are going to harvest them, and you are going to get more and more and more and more of that same vibrational energy, and it is going to be very pleasing in your life. It is going to be truly wonderful. But if you believe anything to be true, and you could say, but I can prove it. I can prove it because of this, and I can prove it because of that. All you are proving to me is the beliefs that you held within you, and then they become true. That's the only thing that you are proving to yourself, is your beliefs that you hold within you. Look at some area of your life that you are really satisfied with, that you really like. And what do you believe about that area of your life? And notice how it feels when you think about that area of your life that's really satisfying. What do you think about it? How does it make you feel? And then notice a different area of your life that is not satisfying and that does not feel that way, and notice how it makes you feel and all the thoughts that you think about it. These thoughts are beliefs. That is all that they are. And it's well and good that you recognize them, because then you can change them. Now, if this area is like, oh, it's not good, well, it's because of this, and it's because of this, stop making the because of this excuses and realize that you can change it within yourself. And as you do change it within yourself, perhaps your environment will have to change. Perhaps the things or the people or the places or the whatever it is that's around you will have to at some point change. You might think, well, if I really heal myself, then all these people are going to leave me. Well, guess what, my darling? Then the people who are vibrating at your new residence are going to find you, and those people are going to be so much more uplifting than the previous ones. Not to say that either is better or right or wrong. It just is what it is, as you attract what you vibrate at. People will put up with all kinds of things when they believe that they deserve to put up with all kinds of things. When they stop believing that, they stop putting up with all kinds of things, and they create better lives for themselves. So if you were to take note, let's say that you just happen to have a notepad and you really wanted to work on yourself. If you were to take note, what chords, what vibrations have you been playing that have not been helpful to you? And once you know that, go even deeper. What beliefs are making you continually believe that thing? And then when you can recognize that, then just having that awareness can shift things within you that you can say, oh man, that's not helpful to me. What advice would you give to your best friend if they came in and said, man, I've been playing this same chord for this long and it's not helpful to me, but I don't know how to stop? What would you tell your friend? Be your best friend. Give yourself the very best advice that you would give to somebody else. And also, give yourself, just like you would to your friend, that compassion and that care and that understanding, because you didn't know what you knew until you learned it. So be very forgiving of yourself. This is what I have for you guys here today. So we are quite busy here in Sedona. We've got all kinds of things going on. Busy transitions coming up over the next week. But we have Christ Light Circles. There will be information for that down below. You can join us through Zoom. We have them 5 days a week and would love to have you there. These are based on the teachings of the Christ letters. I will channel messages, so maybe parables. This is often what comes through. Maybe there will be angels or guides or people's higher selves. I will see energy. We will change it. We will work on helping people let go of things that have been holding them down, holding them back. I work with my friend Alora. She is an activator and does all kinds of energy activations. And she will amplify the abilities that you already have. And so if you would love to join us, we would love to have you there. And you can find that information down below. So thank you guys so much for tuning in here today. Love you all so very much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.